Hello and welcome to the online classes for grade 11. So from our NCERT book of Computer Science, chapter number 5, Getting Started with Python. So under the subtopic type conversion, today we will learn about explicit conversion. We have seen that type conversion means converting the data type to another type so that a instruction can be executed successfully. So we will see that explicit conversion, what kind of conversion is it? How does it happen? So explicit conversion, it is also called typecasting, and it happens when data type conversion takes place because the programmer forced it in the program. Okay, this means that if we are given a value and we want to convert it, the programmer, that is we ourselves, are going to give the instruction that it has to be converted. It is not done automatically. And in explicit conversion, there is often risk of loss of information, because when we are converting, for example, a floating value of x, which is equals to 20.67, into an integer type value, 0.67 is going to be eliminated, because floating value always has a decimal point, but an integer value only has whole numbers. So the ending part of 0.67 will be eliminated. That means there is risk of loss of information in explicit conversion. Okay. Now let's look at an example that will make you understand better. Now this is a program of explicit type conversion from integer to float. Integer values are whole number values and float values are values that have decimal point in it. So now explicit type conversion from int to float. The first variable, number 1, we have is 10. Second variable is 20. And the third variable is num1 plus num2. Yes, when we add 10 plus 20, it gives us 30, isn't it? And 30, look at it here in the output, is an integer value, class int. Int means integer. But we want the result in float value. So what do we do for that? We are going to print, look at it. The fourth value we are going to print is float num1 plus 2. This is the format we are going to use, that we are converting it into a float value. We are going to convert float num1, which is 10, num2, which is 20. So 10 plus 20 in a float value. Print means to display the output. So when we print type number 4, this num4, the value is going to be 30.0, which is in the float value class. Okay, the first output we had was 30, which was class integer, and after putting it float num1 plus num2, we have 30.0, which is in the class float. This means we have converted an integer value to a float value, and this is done using explicit type conversion. Let's look at another program. Here we are going to do float to int. That is the reverse of the first program that we had. So in this one, the first value is 10.2, the second value is 20.6. You can see these are float values because they have the decimal point and numbers after that. So when we are going to print num3, we are going to add 10 plus 2 and 20 plus 20.6, which is equals to 30.8, and 30.8 is in class of float. But we want to convert it into an integer. So our format for this is int num1 plus num2. Num1 is 10.2, num2 is 20.6. And when we print this value, we are going to get 30. Now you know we are going to eliminate 0.8 because we want it in the integer class. And in integers we have whole numbers, we do not have the decimal points. So to avoid confusion, I want you to study this program very well. The first format we have used is normal conversion. Okay, we have done the addition part and we have got the output, which is in the floating class because it has the decimal point. But we want it in the integer class, so we are going to type this num4 equals to int num1 plus num2. This will convert it to an integer value, which is 30. I hope this is clear enough. Thank you.